Here's an example of where I experimented with how to start something and I broke a rule, or I broke what a rule that I would tell people is what they want to hear about how you start things. And most things, most of the time, people would say, start by getting rid of the white of the canvas. Bang. So we start from a middle value. Now I think that, well, that makes a lot of sense, because whatever value in this image, whatever it might end up being, a value of 5 is closer to either 1 or 10 than white is. Well, you assign white as 1 or 10. So it makes a lot of sense to get things in the middle so it's immediately closer. You never get more done in a short period of time than making sure that it's flat, and also starting with a gradation or a subtle a texture of middle value. And if you're going to do a highly finished illustration, maybe a middle value is the way to go. But let's look at something that I think is very interesting that is missed if you're locked into this way of doing things. Because I was taught in art school, you always start from a middle and block it in first. That this painting was, a sketch I did out of my window. You can see it's very, there's a lot of the white showing through, and that white to me suggests specularity. And if I were to take away that white background, say, as this file exists, the painting is simply on top of that, and what's underneath is very much open. So now I can put anything back there that I want. And I kind of like the white because it looks like sun hitting this stuff. Because if you get far enough away from it, I mean, it is an exaggerated effect. I did this, purposefully to bring this out. It's a bit overdone. But if I were to take away that white and put a gray background in there, immediately it loses something. I'm not seeing that that suggestion of specularity on waxy leaves on the side of a hillside that I saw before. You could, like I did here, work on one layer and leave this open in the back and put different colors back there to get different feelings of it, and then play, with the light or dark of that and see different effects that way. But working with layers, there's a lot of people that say that we are restricted to using digital tools as paint, and you should only work on one layer with a paintbrush because that's how the masters work. But here, bringing things on layers and being able to change this, you can see how radically the feeling of this has changed, because it is on layers. And be sure to, it's talking about experimenting with process. Digital tools are really wonderful for that because they are so flexible. You can try 100 different variations, and you're not really committing to anything to try different things. So to sum up, I'd say just this process of painting on a white background and leaving a lot of the white and not blocking things in and getting rid of the white, I'm definitely starting to bring this idea into some more commercial work, because I've experimented with it enough and I can control it enough that I'm not blocking everything in with a flat color. So that's an example of something that I brought from the experimental labs back into the production pipeline. And it is something that would be very frowned on. No traditional painter would ever tell you to just paint on white and let white of the canvas show through. That's not good. Of course, traditional painters did it all the time. You can see Soroyas and Sargents that have the white of the canvas showing through. I don't know why people are fixated on that. But as much as I'm telling you this, this is kind of a more advanced technique. It probably is a good idea to block things in with bigger shapes. I'm kind of these are master classes, so if you're a beginning painter, you should probably listen and have great familiarity with traditional ways of working, and then move on from there.